Okay, welcome everybody. I'm going to discuss in this video how to document your research paper using Microsoft Word. Um, Hopefully you've learned the MLA formula. That'll be helpful for you because you need to double check what your computer is going to tell you, but this should make it a lot easier to manage. Um, so as you can see here, I've got a research paper that I've been working on to the moon and back about the moon landings that happened during the year I was born. The last ones did actually. And now that I've done some writing, I need to include some documentation to avoid plagiarism and let my readers know where I got my information from. Now, first of all, I need to identify where I need to put a citation, where my citations need to go. Obviously, I've got a few facts here in the first paragraph, so I probably need a citation at the end of this sentence. I've also got a few direct quotes. If you get down here at the second paragraph, this also needs to be cited. So any facts, anything I've paraphrased, and anything I've directly quoted word for word definitely needs to be cited in my research paper. And as you know, in order to correctly document, I need a citation not only in the spot where the fact was used, but I'm going to need something at the end of my paper that's going to clearly elaborate where they're going to be able to find those sources. Now, it's pretty simple. It just takes a little extra legwork at the beginning of my paper, but as soon as I've got that finished, it should make it a breeze to finish out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on References. And hopefully I've collected all the resources I have. I'm going to click on Manage Sources. And first of all, make sure that my style is MLA. There are several different other documentation styles. As you can see here, some of these you might encounter in college, like APA. I'm going to make sure that I've got the most recent version of MLA selected, whatever is on my computer. Most recent is MLA 7th edition. Okay. Now, once I've got that selected, I can click on Manage My Sources. And I can do this at any time during the writing process. I can even start when I have a blank file. I can just start adding sources immediately, or even after I've typed everything out, I've completely written my essay, I can add resources at the end, anytime, beginning, middle, end. Now, as you can see here, I've already gotten some sources already pre-done. This is what is in my current list. This is what's going to be used in this paper. And as you can see over here, I've got a master list. This is a list of all the sources I've used for various papers at various times. Now, if there was a resource here that I wanted to reuse for the paper, all I would have to do is highlight it, click on Copy, and it would move it over to my current list. Okay, so there you have it. But I don't want that. I can delete it. So any sources I don't want, I can delete. If I see some mistakes in a source, I can click on Edit and change the documentation. Now, in order to add, let's say you have nothing in here. Maybe it's totally blank. In order to add a new source, you just click on New. And as you can see up at the top, you've got basically just a form that you have to fill out. I like to click on the little checkbox here that says Show All Bibliography Fields. That way it tells me which kinds of information is very important. You'll see the asterisks are next to things that you should know, that you should be able to find out about your source. So try to fill those out, those asterisks out. And now you might not be able to fill out all this information. Don't panic. They give you these options because they don't know what you might find in your source. So let's say I'm citing a book. Okay. So next thing once I've selected the type of source, then it's going to change the form slightly so that it only includes the information that would be relevant to a book. Now I don't know everything about this book, so I'm not going to be able to fill out everything. But I do know the author, so I'm going to click on Edit. It's going to bring up another dialog box. and I'm going to type in the name of the author, last name, first name, and then I'm going to hit add. And if I had more than one author, I could just keep on adding authors. I could add another author if I wanted to. Okay, as many authors as there are in the book, you can just keep typing in names, hit add, and they will add to the list. Let's say I don't want that author in there. That was a mistake. I can just highlight his name and delete it. Once I've finished, I hit OK, and notice how the author's name appears now in the author slot. I'm going to type in the title, and usually for a book, you can look in the inside cover, find out when that book was published. Most books are usually published in New York, so that's what I'm going to put here. And the publisher name, let's see here, we'll put in Barnes & Noble. There we go. Okay, and since this is a one-volume work, there's no need to put in volume, number, or volumes. I'm going to use the whole book, but if I were using part of the book, just part, I would put in the page numbers. So we'll put in the page numbers. Very important, I need to put in the medium type. Medium means, did you find it on the web? If it was a web internet source, I would put web. If it was a print, like a magazine or a book that I found in print, I'd put print. In this case, I'd put print. Now, occasionally, you're probably asking yourselves, well, a book, isn't it obvious it should be print? But actually, keep in mind that places like eFollett, eBrary, Google Books, these are all books, but they're online. So you would have to put in here, if you were using a Google Book, you would have to put in web, and you'd have to put in things like the year you accessed it, the month you accessed, day, and the actual web address that you found it. We're going to keep this one simple. As you can see, I didn't fill out every slot. That's okay. There's no translator. It's in English, so don't worry about it. So I just filled out as many of these as I could find, which you should be able, for a book, to be able to find an author, a title, and a publisher, and when it was published. So once I'm finished, I hit OK. And as you can see, it's added to my current list, and it should be right here in the master list. So if I ever need to use it again, I can always find it. Also, notice below, this is what the citation is going to look like if I add it into my my paper. And below that, you're going to have the bibliography or works cited entry listed. This is a preview of it. So now we can see what it looks like, and notice it follows the formula that you've been taught. Bram Stoker, author, last name, first name, title, italicized for a book, the place it was published, colon, publisher name, comma, year it was published, and the medium type. So basically, every MLA citation is going to follow this formula: author, title, publisher information, whether it's a web site or book or other type of medium. This tends to be how it's going to look. This basic formula. Okay, so once I'm done, I can just keep managing sources. I can keep adding new sources, editing them, copying things from my master list, or deleting them as I see fit. Once I've got my whole list filled out, okay, notice nothing has changed in my paper. I still have no documentation yet. Now I can go through. Remember, I said I need a citation right here, or else I'm plagiarizing. So this fact needs to be cited. So I need to put my cursor right at the end of the sentence, right between the last word and the period. That's where a citation usually goes. And I'm going to go back to my References tab, click on Insert Citation, and take a look. All my sources are listed right here. So I'm going to pick the source that fits there. And there it is. It just automatically enters it, and it should be already formatted in MLA. Now, question. This is a book, and maybe this fact came from a specific page, so I need to edit this. You can go right in. You can manually enter it, add the page number, or you can click on an arrow, if you can get the arrow to work, next to it, and click Edit Source, Edit Citation, and add the page number that way. All right, I'm going to find my other one and add another source here, just show you how it works. Insert another citation, and we're going to add this one. All right, looks like it's not going to work. So if I need a page number there, I just click on it, add the page number. Okay, so I keep adding citations, and notice here, didn't have an author for that one, so it added the title. That's okay. Now, once I've completed my in-text citations, notice I'm not done yet, because this tells me this fact was taken from Stoker on page 56, but I don't know Stoker. I don't know where to find that book yet, so I need to go. And your works cited page should have its own page, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the Insert tab, click on Page Break, and then I'll go back to References. And now I need to select Bibliography. Now for MLA, I'm going to want to pick the one that says Works Cited. I'm going to click on that. And notice this is the most magical part of the whole process. Notice that pretty much it enters everything. All your entries are listed. They're all in MLA format. Notice it follows the formula. Notice also all the entries are in alphabetical order, starting with the beginning letters. We got A, D, K, S, and T. Okay, so that's good. The only thing that is not done for us, which is pretty easy to fix, is notice it's not in Times New Roman 12 point. That's okay. We'll just highlight all these entries here. Go to the Home tab, change that from Calibri to Times New Roman. Change the 11 point here to 12. Also notice it's not in double space, so we can easily change that. We'll fix that just by selecting this spacing tool, and we'll just click on, see it's at 1.15, we'll just change it to 2.0. That's double spacing. And voila, we are finished. Now you'll notice that if let's say you need to add another source later on, you can still do that. Go to your reference page, click on Manage Sources, add another source, hit Close, and what you would need to do is you would need to update this, but keep in mind that it will change your formatting, so you have to redo the spacing, redo the font change. But this should help you get everything in, make this a lot easier for yourself. And that is that. Also make sure that, speaking of MLA formatting, also make sure that your paper is properly formatted, that you have spacing, page layout. So you can go into page layout and make sure that your margins are correct, selected normal. That's what you need. And that you're using Times New Roman 12, and that your paragraph is spaced at double spaced. And your indents should be ½ an inch. You can change that easily. Make sure that, okay, yeah, first line, ½ an inch. Okay, and that concludes my presentation.